It's spooky in here. What's going on? There are people in here already. We can hear you a little. A little.
Can hear what?
Like, define a little. Like, I need to boost my vocals or. I'm quiet. They're saying I'm quiet.
Wait, if you're quiet, am I quiet? I can't hear what you're saying. Are you queuing up anymore? Nope, I lost your audio. This makes it really hard. I can't hear a thing that you're saying. Yeah, but can you hear him?
Yeah, that's what we need to know. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now.
You can hear me now?
I can hear you now, and I can hear you on stream now.
Okay, wait.
Every time that I can't hear you, stream can't hear you, so that's good.
I'm getting a lot of mixed messages between you and the stream. All right, how about this? I'm gonna stop the stream. I'm just gonna restart my computer.
There was a point when I couldn't hear you, and then I started hearing you again. And while you were talking, and I couldn't hear you, stream couldn't hear you. And then when I could start hearing you again, stream also heard you.
Okay. People
Yeah, the audio levels sound fine to me as well. I'm at
Okay.
50% on there, and we're loud enough.
All right, good. It's just that guy.
Yeah, Don.
Oh, I don't trust him. Christ. I was about to hit the restart button on my computer. Yeah. We'll start soon. I've also got recording happening on the whatever it's called. I'll put up my gain a bit because I saw that I was still a little low, maybe.
You were fine to me, and you were fine for everyone else.
Okay. The recording looked really low, though. I don't know. Maybe I just gotta get red in the mic. that better?
Just get up close and personal with it.
Yeah. Can you still hear me?
Yep.
All right. As soon as you tell me go, we'll start this car wreck. I have fancy root beer though.
Ooh, what type of root beer do you have?
It's called Bolin Bottling Company root beer. It's like it's established in 1891.
That's old.
It is old. It tastes of I don't know. It's root beer. I know it's root beer, but it is very old, like old style root beer. So it's a little medicinal, I would say. Nothing wrong with that, I think. Maybe it's healing me on the insides. I might have superpowers. I got 4 bottles? 6 bottles. I'm gonna drink all 4, not tonight, but I'll drink 4 bottles this week. And I'm gonna go jump over my house. I am a dark knight, so my soul is black. Thus, I need to fill my bar with black blood. I need to accumulate black blood. I know I have superpowers. If anything, I'm like Mati from from what's it called? Captain Planet. Like my ring power is heart. Like everybody wants to be Wheeler, but everybody knows really they're Mati. Shouldn't that would make you could be Gaia? Yeah. ¿Qué pasa, payasa?
Okay, for some reason, Google does not understand the word potions and thinks that I mean portions.
Yeah.
That's not a thing.
You gotta portion out your potions.
It's only
a game. Why you have to be mad?
Chat, I know you heard double audio, don't worry.
From my just over 4 notes of really sketchy, 4 pages, sorry, just over 4 pages of really sketchy, very slimmed down notes from the live letter.
Yeah.
I got about 2 pages now.
Yeah. That's what I said. We can the other part we can do later.
We're gonna have to do that because yeah, let's move that off to the next one just because we're not gonna have time to do all of the other stuff anyway.
Yeah, and I'll talk to you about when that next show is because it may have to be a day early.
That's fine.
All right. Anyway, are we ready to hop on the horse?
You have the double audio things.
That was a great. Yeah, no, that's just that's not an issue. That's just a button click. Oh, okay. Do one of these. And do one of these. Take a sip. Magical root. Today is Monday, May 22nd, 2017. This is episode 38 of Maelstrom Radio.
Maelstrom Radio. With your hosts, Flatus and Shinder.
And welcome everybody to Maelstrom Radio. My name is Flatus. With me, this host will make you get over here. It's Shin.
I'm gonna rescue you, whether you like it or not.
Ah, Shin. Guess what?
You know what? Just for that, I'm not gonna rescue you.
It's okay. I don't think it's meant for me.
Well,
I really don't.
It's not meant for you. Doesn't mean I'm not gonna use it on you. I saw that ability, and like, as much as I'm really excited for the fact that bards are no longer casters and like we can run around and be proper bards again, kind of looking forward to some of these changes with the white mage. But I guess we'll go into those later.
Yeah.
I don't want to pull ahead.
Yeah. So, as always, recruiting for our FC on Famfrit, Garita Gang, that's going swimmingly. Shout out to Mystic. He's inviting a few of his friends to come play. Two of them joined today. We'll see. I know he said he had a few more that may be coming as well. So to join us on Famfrit. So Garita Gang's growing quite nicely. But what happens to Stone Skin? You lie on the ground and just rocks cover you. Yes. We shamelessly whore out our FC, I think, more than our own show. So maybe that's got to change. I don't know how you whore out Maelstrom. Well, like I say Maelstrom Radio at the start. I don't know if I like come listen to Maelstrom Radio.
You don't have to whore us out on our own show. You have to whore us out everywhere else. In the FC, on Twitter, on Facebook.
You mean just start doing everybody's show, Elsa's show, and just come out and start whoring ourselves out on that show, their shows?
Exactly. Also, Scarlett's got the great idea here. Join on Famfrit in 4.0, get jump potions, start running MSQ with Maelstrom Radio.
Yeah. I listen, I've already had, I think we're up a lot.
We're also not on the list of servers you cannot create characters on.
Yeah, so there's that. That's a bonus. Let's make that happen. Let's see how we can make... Hey, let's make the list of servers you can't create a character on. So, come join us. There's not really community news. I got nothing. But I do have normal news. So let's talk about the Stormblood main theme did come out last week. It came out after our show last week. Shouldn't I mean, if there was nothing to talk about today, guess what? We probably would have covered the video. Can't really listen to the song. There is a big write-up on like things you can and can't use, and one of them is the song, so you wouldn't have heard it here. We would have gone over the video, but I don't know, the video's kind of spoilerly little. It's got a little bit of spoils in there. Spoils. So, it's good. Go listen to it. Well, it's a great song. See what happens with that. I would say if you don't want to get spoiled by what may be happening in the story, if you're really one of those pure children's, don't watch it. Let's go listen to the song. Maybe just like don't watch the video. And they're preventing server congestion. You are not going to be able to create tunes on Balmung and Gilgamesh. Am I missing? I know there are more, but they're also
Probably.
giving you incentives though. It's Bahamut,
Bahamut, Chocobo,
Cho-
Mandragora, Shinryu, Balmung, and Gilgamesh.
yes, and then suspension of high character population worlds. They're also going to
Same
give
thing.
you if you transfer off said worlds into worlds that are lower populated, I guess, or one of the worlds with the lower population, you can bring 10 million gil with you, and your retainers can bring 5 million gil each versus 1 million and 100,000. So worth it. Now, they really want people to go to those EU data centers because not only are you getting the gil, you're also getting transfers to designated worlds to be free of charge, right out the bat, no cost.
This has been particular though because they are opening brand new worlds. They have too many people on the servers and they need to spread the load out a little bit. So they're opening brand new servers on EU data center and allowing people to transfer to those.
Yes, for free. You also get XP bonuses will be applied to designated worlds up to level 60. Now that's pretty great. Not gonna lie, that's pretty fantastic. Gil and free playtime will be awarded to newly created characters that reach a certain level on designated worlds. XP bonuses will be applied to newly established worlds up to level 60. Gil and free playtime will be awarded to newly created characters that reach a certain level on newly established worlds. That's not bad. That is a pretty good incentive to make a new character on one of the other servers. And also, I'm assuming that goes for new accounts too. Like, instead of trying to get with your friends, you're like, no, just come with me to this new server and get all the bonuses. I like bonuses.
That would probably make sense, yeah, up to 60 at least.
Yeah.
But the cool thing still is to come and roll on Fanfare with Maelstrom Radio.
It is. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, we have an FC bonus. And
Isn't the bonus being able to group with us?
that is,
Or is that a detriment?
that depends on your health.
Good point. Maybe with 4.0, we'll just consolidate it all into one.
Boy. Welcome to Maelstrom Radio. We're a Final Fantasy 11 podcast because we're gonna be ran after this one. Next up, Gusterberg. No. There's like 3 people in chat. They're like, haha, that's not funny. All right, it's 9 o'clock. It's past our bedtime. What's going on anymore?
I was actually just more confused because I was looking at earlier we had Google having issues with potions, and now apparently it also has the issues with the word server.
Yeah,
and apparently we're trying to prevent severe congestion.
Yeah, preventing severe congestion.
Good try, Google.
Welcome to Maelstrom Radio. We're preventing severe congestion with portion size.
With our portions.
Yeah. What happened? Let's
just jump right into it.
Let's just get into it.
There's a lot of data for those who did not get to watch the letter or from the producer live. It was a solid almost 4 hours, a good 3.5 hours at least, with a couple breaks in there, but it was a very, very long show. Lots and lots of information as well. Like, they just ran through it at really, really breakneck paces, and we're going to try to hit as much as we can. Sorry for those who are really hoping to hear about the PvP information. We're going to skip over that for this show, but we're going to put it specifically on a different show because we don't think we're going to be able to cover it here, and we want to do justice for that topic in particular.
And real quick, before any other show calls it out, Shin and I clearly know that I'm saying it now, but Shin and I know this, where they got the idea for their PvP setup.
And it's a really good idea. I'm not going to lie, even if we saw that some things were very similar, it's a great idea that they're doing it.
For those of us who have played Guild Wars 2 and played the PvP in Guild Wars 2, show of hands, being the 2 hosts of this show, we knew where they got that. So instantly looking at it, I was like, was like, I went to Shin. Shin's like, that's Guild Wars 2. I'm like, yep, sure is Guild Wars 2. That is the smartest. People are real fucking salty about PvP, and I cannot wait to talk about it. But
honestly, like, Guild Wars 2 is probably one of my favorite PvP implementations. It's one of the games that I've played that has a really great PvP implementation. It's not terribly complex, but it lends itself to kind of even the esport model. And they haven't pushed that in Guild Wars 2, making it competitive, having rankings, having all that sort of stuff that Square seems to try to do with the Feast, but hasn't quite made it, I guess. And with this step, will kind of, I guess, bring us one step closer to that and being able to almost treat Final Fantasy as an official esport.
They haven't
Get
pushed
hype.
for it yet. Yeah. Well, I know. Listen, I'm just saying, a lot of people are real mad. They're like, my favorite one was that Fusion. Somebody canceled their Stormblood pre-order because of the PvP changes, and Fusion said, all right, well, bye, no one's gonna miss you. And I kind of agree with them, just so you know, if you're real salty about that. And I saw the person's comments about like, I watch high-end streamers play this and it's like good for competition, but guess what, even with Garo implemented, after Garo started dying down, other than the feast queues, other queues are still slowing down. Like, that's not a good sign. Like, Garo couldn't save it.
The 60 queues for the front lines aren't too bad. I can get on average, like with about 5 to 10 minutes, I can get one still. It's not quite as fast as when Garo first came out, but it's significantly faster than before Garo came out.
Yes, but then you can also tell when there are people that really know how to PvP versus, like, if you get on a team full of people that have never been, like I did the other day, they're like, people just like, I've never done this. I'm like, well, this is... good luck. So, I don't know. I welcome changes. It can't hurt, and plus they'll just take our feedback on it. So, you know, maybe cool your shit. Everybody calm the fuck down.
That's PvP. You gotta have all those salty tears.
Yeah.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
Why you have to be mad? All right, let's get into it. Battle system changes. The very
there was
first
a lot
thing...
of reasons.
Oh my god. Yeah, go ahead, please.
So yeah, they jumped right into the battle system changes off the bat, and they have a lot of reasoning, and I think they did this very well. I think it was I can't remember exactly who pointed it out on Twitter, but someone did point it out on Twitter that this is probably one of the most transparent and best live letters that we've seen so far, and it's one of the most transparent dev teams that they've seen in the industry. And it's kind of true. Like, they have told us for a long time that these changes were coming. They have really good reasonings why they've made all these changes. They have the data to back it up. They've tested, they're going to improve it, and it's kind of awesome. So they started off the whole thing with telling us all of the reasons why they're changing the battle system in 4.0. Whether it was a really overly complex system, there was way too many actions, there's not enough hotbar space for all of these things, especially when you take into consideration all of the new actions coming with level 70. There was an overemphasis on static icon management, status icon management. If you're just sitting there watching the status icons, that's not what they want. They want you to actually be watching the boss, watching for AoEs, watching for mechanics, not sit there and watch for the countdown timer to tick out. They also found that there was a really high disparity between casual players and the hardcore players that are there all day. And they wanted to kind of bring that back together so that casual players weren't left so far in the dust compared to those hardcore players. And finally, they saw that there was a big lack of synergy between jobs. And they kept mentioning this over and over again, and I couldn't quite grasp sometimes what they meant by a lack of synergy. But eventually they kind of explained it a little bit so that classes like, I think it was Warrior and Monk, or Paladin and Warrior and Monk, work really well together when they play those two classes together. And you see that in a lot of the raid meta now. There's specific classes that they want for certain roles, and other ones aren't able to do it. So they took this and into consideration when they rebalanced everything and kind of did it so that all roles or all jobs, would be more viable for that sense. There's not going to be a specific, like, warrior is better than everyone else or ninja's better than everyone else. Toad Rogue, I'm calling that name now. Toad Rogue is not better than anyone else.
Toad Rogue?
Toad Rogue.
All right. Well, there you go. There's another one for Maelstrom Radio, #Toad Rogue.
I mentioned that to Scarlet there, put Warrior and Ninja as the synergy class, but we were talking on Twitter earlier, and I mentioned Toad Rogue, and now that's a thing.
Yeah, Toad Rogue.
They're no
Hashtag
longer ninjas.
Maelstrom Radio, hashtag Toad Rogue. Toad Sage. I love Naruto. Naruto gifts are going to be the new hotness come Stormblood with ninjas. All right. Well,
The only thing I was missing was I was thinking if I could try to do the hand signs, but I don't know them, so that would be the only thing to be better.
I don't know. I just started doing, the endings part of like Grease, where they're doing like bang bang, changity chang to pop. Like I started doing that with my hands, and I'm like, hopefully I'll summon something. All I do is summon John Travolta with the ponytail from. He's just like looking around, lost. That's all I can do. That's all I got. All right, well, Shin. With all that, guess what? It's time for a change, and a lot of changes they made. So, additional actions gone. Roll actions in. So
Gone, killed. They are X actions.
Yeah, they're gone. X was a big thing this live letter. There's a lot of X's everywhere. So what that means is that they're going to give each specific set of jobs, like tank, healer, melee DPS, range DPS / caster. They're all going to get these specific skills that all of them get across the board. So like Asuna is now a healer staple, a caster staple.
Roll action.
Thank you. And I don't remember the one for tanks for stun.
So yeah, there was a bunch that I have them listed down here. Casters will still have. We saw that they had Swift Cast in there. They mentioned something that would allow them to erase damage over time spells. Ability called Mana Shift that allows them to transfer 20% of their MP to another party member. We've also saw that we were told that Raging and Quelling Strikes are both gone. However, Quelling Strikes is being replaced by something called Diversion, which will still be helpful. A lot of the actions that they did show will be replaced with other actions that'll do something similar. So even if the icon wasn't there and you see all these screenshots and videos from there, it doesn't mean that the actions are gone forever. They might just be replaced with a different icon. The tank ability that they're all going to get will be a stun called Low Blow, which is going to be, I'm sure, the topic of many, many jokes on this show. As well as a lot of the defensive actions that they have are going to be unified into roll actions as opposed to each having their own individual stuff.
I mean, you clearly meant that for me. Just saying.
The Low Blow stuff, we're definitely gonna. I just know that we're gonna have so many things with that.
Yeah. Awkward in chat, lewd.
The melee DPS also get Diversion. They also get Bloodbath is staying. Goad is becoming a roll ability, and Invigorate as well. So that's all nice to hear for the melee DPS. Range DPS are getting Invigorate, a stun, we were told, and a few other actions were just renamed. I did not see Bloodbath on that list. I don't know if there is something similar for range DPS, so we'll have to keep an eye out for that.
I don't know. Bloodbath is a pretty solid name. I'm surprised they didn't keep it.
Well, no, Bloodbath still exists for the melee DPS, so it wasn't present on the range DPS one. So I'm not sure if they get a similar ability or if they're just not getting that anymore.
Blood Gusher?
Black Blood.
Black Blood? No, it's mine. Specifically Dark
Black
Knight.
Blood for the Blood Gauge.
Yeah, this proves further that Dark Knights are slowly becoming the horror tank.
They are always the horror tank.
I'm so excited.
Probably my favorite part here is the healers because, of course, I main a white mage. We get Protect still. I saw Swift and Surecast both on there. Eye for an Eye has been replaced and updated with a changed version, but I didn't hear any information based on that. And finally, Cleric Stance is still there. Cleric Stance is still on the list, but Cleric Stance is no longer a stance, despite having the word stance in the name. Cleric Stance is now a temporary plus damage buff. That'll just give healers a straight plus damage for a certain period of time. Before everyone freaks out about all that, Cleric Stance is changing. Cleric Stance isn't there. They also made a huge change to clerics, to healers, in that instead of currently, our damage was based off of intelligence. And Cleric Stance swapped our mind and intelligence, so effectively our huge mind stat would become our intelligence stat, and healers would be able to DPS because their intelligence was now high. They're changing this in Stormblood so that healers now use mind as their DPS stat. So instead, they no longer have to switch the mind and intelligence, so healers only have to focus on mind. And by increasing your mind, you'll be increasing both your healing and your DPS. Which means effectively, you have permanent Cleric Stance up without having to have Cleric Stance, which means you can heal and DPS without having to stance. Plus, you get a bonus Cleric Stance damage buff, which is even better. And all the tanks will start crying as I try to rescue them and pull their asses out.
Literally pull their asses out.
Pretty sure that's going to be 100% used for trolling.
Mm-hmm.
If not by everyone else, definitely by me.
Oh no, what's going on in chat? Actions that are no longer. I can't look at chat anymore. It's crazy in there. So actions that no longer exist will be replaced with grayed out or on your hotbar. So we'll instantly know, like, all right, well, this is gone. So you can start cleaning up here, which I like. So they can take it out. Let's take them all out. As a part of some of the changes, overpowered synergies have been pulled back. So, when a couple episodes ago when I was talking about, like, yeah, what they're going to do is try to level it off so that all classes are viable with each other for both raiding, dungeons, and some people think I'm nuts.
This might not be a level off. This might actually be a slight nerf. Kind of sounds like one.
I'm not crazy. Just want to point that out. I only play a madman on the internet. I know you told me play. I know it has quotation marks play. But it makes sense. Like, I mean, having played other MMOs, the hardest thing you do is try to balance your classes. WoW has a really tough time of it because within each class, like let's say if you go rogue, there's another 4 sets of traits you can do because you can be 4 different things, and that's a lot harder. With this game though, it should theoretically be easier to do, and now this is their chance to do it. So the meta is probably going right out the window. Raiders gonna be real epics. Yeah, bye. See ya. Metas are gonna
meta.
Yeah, no meta. But at the same time, I mean, it's good because you don't want a meta. Like, everybody should have a chance to raid. Everybody should have a chance to play the class they want to play and have fun playing what they want. Like, there's no reason where somebody should be like, well, I like playing Monk. Well, Monk's underpowered. You don't have any synergies within this group. You can't really come with, like, nah, screw that. Like, you should be able to bring your Monk because you want to, like, you want to punch it.
But wait. Monks did get a fancy new thing. I'll leave that till a little bit later. I'm just going to finish up these last 2 things quick because I think they kind of relate to this. Along with these changes as well, they're also doing some adjustments to job actions. So like we knew before, they're removing unused or underused actions, as well as merging or creating new role actions from these. So something like Blood for Blood is being removed from Dragoon and moving into the role actions. Likewise, a lot of underused or unused actions are probably just getting removed completely. Just to clean up the hotbars, you should have roughly the same number of skills or less at 70 than you do today. They're also making it easier and they're doing an automatic replacement of the upgraded spells. So what this means is if you have a spell like Stone, Stone 2, Stone 3, Stone 4, Stone 5, we haven't hit Stone 5 yet. Stone 1, 2, 3, and 4. All of those will be combined into a single button that'll automatically change based on what you have unlocked. So when you have Stone 1 unlocked, you'll have Stone. If you have Stone 2 unlocked, you'll use Stone 2. However, it does change based on if they have different effects on the spells. So for example, with Thunder 1 and Thunder 3 are both single targets, and Thunder 2 and Thunder 4 are multi-target. They're both AoE spells. So Thunder 1 and Thunder 3 will use one action slot. Thunder 2 and Thunder 4 will use an action slot. So effectively, 1 upgrades to 3 and 2 upgrades to 4. 1 won't upgrade to 2 to 3 to 4. So if you have separate effects on the same named spell, they will take multiple action slots.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of confused on because Stone has a slow, but Stone 2, 3 do not. So maybe it won't.
Or maybe they all have slows.
It's possible. Like I'm guessing that they'll kind of consolidate and simplify these. So either they'll remove the slow from it, or they'll add slow to everything for this. Or Stone 1 will be on a separate one, and 2, 3, and 4 will be on another one. Mystic in chat asked, does it sync down when you have Stone 2 in the bar and go to a low-level content? It should, right? I believe so, yes. So if you have Stone 3 or Stone 4 unlocked and you go down and do a level 20 dungeon, or sorry, level 25 dungeon, that same icon will only be Stone. It'll automatically sync based on whatever content you are in. And of course, like today, if you don't have the ability at all unlocked for that content, it'll just be grayed out.
Yeah. You can't, it's grayed out. You just can't use it no more.
Yeah.
Wonder if anybody's going to look at their bar and just be like, it's so hard to say goodbye. Take a picture of it, screenshot it. No.
But yeah, so that's roughly the whole overview of the job action changes and the combat changes that we're going to be seeing, minus the PvP stuff again. I'm kind of looking forward to it. Like, it sounds kind of neat. The consolidation doesn't seem too scary. There's nothing that I've seen has been removed or replaced that is making me sad, or I'm cautiously optimistic on this. Like with anything of this big of a change, there's a lot that could go wrong, but I trust Square Enix. I trust their dev team. It sounds like everything is going really, really well, and I get an ability that gets to pull people and troll them, and I can pull people into the fire. So that won a lot of points for me.
Well, I mean, UFCP would probably be really happy to know that you're like, he's like, please look forward to it. You're like, I am looking forward.
I know there's going to be lots of salt, and I will probably have my own share of complaints, but everything that I've seen so far seems pretty good. I don't know if I trust this Ockmorn person in chat, though.
Oh, that's wrong. That shit.
She hasn't she hasn't steered me wrong yet, but I also hear that she plays a summoner. And we saw what a few times.
Oh.
But I mean, she plays a summoner, and we all know that summoners are traitors now, that they can summon. Spoilers. Anyways.
Is it a spoiler? Because that video is going around.
Spoilers for later in the cast.
Oh, okay. Oh, spoilers for... We have spoilers now?
Well, I'm letting hype. Never mind. Let's just keep going.
You had it. You were so strong. What happened? All right, so let's get to some of the said nitty and gritty. Guess what? Just like as much as everybody loves dimmer switches everywhere. Everybody's getting a job gauge. Everybody's getting one. You get a job gauge, and you get a job gauge, and you get a job gauge, and Shin, even White Mage. I don't know what happened there, but you got a job gauge too. Sorry, buddy. You got flowers. I apologize. Everyone, I'm sorry.
Lilies. I got lilies.
I feel so bad for you.
I don't know what they do yet. They could do something awesome, which will be okay, but
I was like, of all the things they could have given you, like angel wings that filled up or something like that, or closed and then spread out further as you filled up or something. Or I was like, man, they gave you lilies. Still, you found the perfect gift for it, which is SpongeBob throwing flowers on Squidward, which fits so nicely. I get a cool sword that fills with black blood. So, Awkward in chat, flowers are cool, man. What do you think about that? Think flowers are cool? I told you got flower power. You were not impressed. Listen, I made joke now, but earlier I was positive about this. He was not. I was. Not so much him. Machinists, though. Machinists get like a bullet holster thing. They get some bullets.
No, machinists get the heat gauge.
Oh, the heat gauge. That's right. But it looks like they have like little bullets too on top of it. They have the double.
That could be for I can't remember the name of that ability, but yeah, that ability.
Yeah, that one.
Paladin and Warrior don't really get two different gauges. They get two different skins on the same gauge.
Yeah.
Because how many times has your Paladin and or Warrior messed up and had the wrong stance on? Now they have a big UI element that says, you're an idiot, go to the other one.
Now we can see. Now we can see. I don't know if we see it, but they'll see it and they'll be like, oh, I did dumb things.
Oh, no, they did mention specifically that the stance icons will still be on the status bar so that your party members can see if you're an idiot.
Okay, good. I don't have to worry about that. I just gotta worry about my blood.
Black blood for the blood gauge.
Yeah, black blood for the blood gauge. Summoning demons. All right.
No, that's a summoner's job.
That's true.
The summoners have betrayed us all.
Yes. So just so everyone knows, monks get the grease lightning / chakra, so you'll have like this little, what is it, dragon symbol, I guess? Seemed dragony.
There's like 5 little orbs and then 3 lightning bolts underneath it.
Yeah. So you know when you get your, and then you can know when you expend your chakra. Black Mage, of course, gets the ice / fire stacks and Enochian, and then Paladin gets the oath. The oath gauge gets me. It's like you acquire oath. Black blood's a thing. You can get blood. I don't know how you collect oath. Is oath a thing? That's not tangible. They could have used like, I don't know, holy stuff. I don't know.
I have lilies.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Well, let's move on to some class info. Red mages. Okay.
We did see the ninja one as well. Sorry. We saw all of them. The ninja one, I just remembered. It has the
the forbidden scroll.
Well, it has the scroll, and it has that other little thing that I can't remember. It's like a pinwheel.
Oh, the countdown timer with the shuriken knife or whatever, the little
something like that.
And they count down the
pinwheel. They get a pinwheel and a forbidden scroll, and then they can summon toads.
And then toad rogues.
Toad rogue.
What a good day. Get a lot of info. It's so much fun. All right, Red Mage. This is the one a lot of people have been wanting to know about. Red Mage, you get by the way, the Red Mage gauge. I love that rhymes. Is the magic crystal medium, which we still don't have a definitive answer for if that's the name of it or not, but I'm going with it since that's all we know. You have to balance between white and black magic, and you have to fill up your little gauge, and then you can do extra. I think if you do more of one than the other, you don't do as much damage. As far as but let me get into it. You get a trait called more. Yeah, you get a trait called Chain that causes the next spell on your chain to instant cast. Also, white mana mechanic that should be used to be balanced maximum DPS. Combining these will allow you to use Spellblade. Critting with these spells decreases the next cast time for spells of the same mana type, which could be used to balance with the instant cast from Chain for optimal DPS. Balance is key. This is a balance class.
Yeah, they went into this and they kind of were trying to explain it, and it sounds really complicated and it looks kind of complicated, but I'm sure when you start playing it, it'll make a lot more sense. but basically red mages have both white and black magic. Probably not quite all 8 levels of it, but close to.
Did you want to be calling for?
Oh yeah.
All right.
And then so when they're casting these spells, when they're using their chains, it causes the next spell to be instant cast. So you generally want to use your short cast times, and then the long cast time spells, use it when you have the instant cast. However, because when you crit on your spells and it causes the next one of that type, white or black magic, to become decreased cast time, you kind of have to balance that. So when you're casting a whole bunch of black magic, let's say, and it has decreased cast times, you can cast that. But then at that point, if your next spell in your chain is white magic, you can hop over to that and then cast the white magic for fast. So you kind of have to balance back and forth, and to raise your black and white magic in your gauge with these 2 abilities, the decreased cast time and the instant cast from the chain. I did grab Klaus from Phoenix Down Radio because I know he's a huge Red Mage fan. So I asked him immediately after this what were his initial thoughts. And he's kind of looking forward to he said he likes the chain spell attribute, and the fact that they're balancing the black and white magic is very interesting. I would honestly love to have a whole conversation about all of this with it. But
I'm just putting it out there. I'm not sure. I could have misheard you. It could have just been me.
I could have said something too. I don't know. I was reading on one monitor and trying to look at the other one.
Klaus is a very lovely woman, I'm sure.
Would you like some lilies?
Would he like?
Anyways, yeah.
I can't make that joke. It's too easy.
Good.
Yeah.
We also got some information on the samurai. I didn't write down as much, but I did.
I'm listening to more than just you guys. That is sad. That hurts a little on the inside. Samurai. I mean, I posted a bomb ass gif of Samurai Champloo, which looked a lot like what was going on. The gauges used.
So it was Red Mage that was Zoro, wasn't it?
Red Mage, yeah. So Red Mage in the video had this sweet like go in and start stabbing things, and he did a Z, like he was like pop pop, did a Z, and I was like, oh, Zoro, and jumped right on out. So
Zed.
Yeah, Zed. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Zed. How dare I? It's Zed in most
samurai.
other places. So yeah, they have their sword gauge that monitors Sen and the different abilities. So the moon, something, tree, leaves, chakra.
I don't remember the names of the 3.
I don't know. Every time I see Samurai, all I want to do is listen to the Samurai Champloo soundtrack and just run around Doma and just listen to dope beat, like hip hop beats and kill things. That's what I want to do. I'm not really sure what I got to pay attention to a sword for, but I'm just gonna go and just start slicing dudes up to a sick beat. Start playing the edge of a samurai. See, Klaus knows what I'm talking about. Finally, someone. So I mean, it's based on what we saw. Boy, howdy. So we got to jump into the other ones because there's more than just these 2. We got to talk a little bit about.
These are the ones that I wrote down from the live letter.
Yeah, let's
There's
talk
a lot
about
more that were there.
Let's talk about a little bit about some of the others before we get into that, because that is a thing we got to talk about. It was something we've never talked about on this show, but we need to talk about.
Serious time?
A little bit. So we hyped it a little bit. I guess we could start with Summoners, I guess. Summoners, apparently...
They betrayed us all.
They can now just summon Elder Primal Dragons.
Well, they do have to fill up their bar or whatever. I don't have a summoner, so I wasn't paying attention as much.
Bahamut.
They have some sort of bar thing they have to fill up. And then they can temporarily summon Bahamut.
Bahamut juice. I don't know.
Kind of disturbing if Bahamut is Akmorn's dad.
Hi, sir. Nice to meet you.
Akmorn, for our resident summoner now. You have to enter and exit Dreadworm Trance twice before you can summon Bahamut.
I'll have her home by 7. No?
Got nothing for this.
You got nothing?
Although I did see a lovely thing on Twitter about people taking Bahamut to go and fight Bahamut.
The Bahamutception.
Yes, Akmorn, I'm pretty sure you were involved with that, but I don't have my Twitter in front of me to go and verify.
Show us.
There's way too much Bahamut in that thread.
There was. There's a lot of Bahamut in that.
Oh no, it was because you responded to it. That's why I remember it now.
Yes. It's going to tier 13, become Bahamut with Bahamut against Bahamut. Got a Bahamut up. Yeah, she said at tier 13, Limit Break 3 as a summoner. Killing Bahamut with Bahamut as Bahamut. That's a lot of Bahamut. Or Bahamut.
Now the word just looks wrong. Just saying it and seeing it so much, it doesn't look right anymore.
It's all broken now. That's what happened. Welcome to Maelstrom Radio. We'll just break you. It's one piece at a time. So
we can go into the Scholar. They get the fairy with the tether, and they get a fairy gauge. Got nothing else other than that.
You get a fairy gauge. What do you want? I mean, listen. We could make so many jokes. Are any of them good? No.
They did get this cool new ability where they don't look at a book anymore, and they have like fancy augmented reality screens all around them.
Do you think you have to read Fern Gully to get that gauge going? No.
No, you just have to listen to. Electrified.
How much of Tinkerbell's magic do you have to do you think it takes to get that bar up? You just gotta think happy thoughts and the bar fills up, and then your fairy can go heal people.
I wonder if the fairy just goes, "Hey, listen." That's the tether. That's the tether. Goes, "Hey, listen," and this just tethers to you, and you're like, "No, get away, get away." That's how summoners now DPS.
Hey, listen.
They annoy the shit out of everything else. Scholar.
Yeah. Giving people PTSD. Water Temple just hey listens, flipping tables right now. All right, well.
Hey, Master, there's a 13% chance you're gonna suck at this. Anyway. I mean, who else do we have there?
Got lilies.
I'll talk about rescue, but I'm not so sure about the whole lily thing. I don't honestly know what's happening with the lily thing yet.
I really don't. Really don't. All I can tell is that like you got 3 lilies, and then do you remember Demolition?
I could use an ability.
Was it Demolition Man where with Stallone, where like he's like freezes himself to go into the future to fight Wesley Snipes? I'm not kidding you. This is a movie. He freezes his body and to go into the future, and then they somehow thaw Wesley Snipes, who's a mass murderer, and then they also give him a job thing and a job chip in his arm, which makes him a hacker because they thought that was a good idea. I'm not kidding you. And then he hacks a bunch of computer systems, right? But then there's a point in the movie where he tries to go to use the bathroom and there's no toilet paper, and he's like, "Hey, how do you use the bathroom?" And they're like, "What? You don't know how to use the 3 seashells? It's kind of like you with the flowers. You don't know how to use the." Listen, I went a long way for Demolition Man joke. That you've never seen the movie. Listen, there is one guy out there that's like, "Yeah, Demolition Man."
I'm sorry, the only movie that I've seen that involves freezing things is Batman and Robin.
Oh, chill out.
And
Shinter's
that just had excellent puns.
Shin has never. Listen, there's a lot of movies that I've seen Shin has never seen. So
Because I'm too young.
not much younger than me.
No. Who else we have? We saw the Black Mage abilities, but not a whole lot of excitement there. We saw a lot of Black Mage being shown off with their Fire and Ice and Enochian and stuff. Enochian got changed, I think, as well.
Did.
It's up like permanently now, as long as you have an Umbral Fire or Astral Fire or Umbral Ice up. There was something about Umbral Hearts as well, but I have no idea because I wasn't actually listening. I had got called away during that part.
Also, to point out that I had it and I lost. That the gauges also have like certain countdowns and timers on them to help you use your skills and abilities. So, being in the way of watching the letters. So, well, that's. I mean, we can go deeper into this, but I think the rest of it is really the PvP changes. They didn't really go over like.
We did talk about the monk.
Oh yeah, monk. Oh, we did talk about monk.
Well, I don't remember if we specifically mentioned the support parts that they were talking about.
No, go ahead.
So one of the things they talked about when they were talking about this whole fixing the synergy of classes is that not a lot of classes play well together. So one of the examples they gave was Monk. And Monk has not been terribly powerful, and they haven't really had a lot of things to help other classes. So one of the things that they were talking about was giving different classes abilities, such as for maybe the Monk would get an ability where it would increase the damage of all of the group around them, and in turn, when the other group members attacked, they would feed chakra back to the monk. So having the sort of like support or utility type abilities to help each of the classes kind of buff each other. And I don't know if that's only towards the monk or if that's also towards other classes getting more support or utility type spells, which honestly I think would be really cool, as opposed to turning monk into just like a support class.
I don't think it's gonna be turning into a support, like a full support class.
No, that wouldn't happen.
No.
That would just make me way too excited.
Do I think a lot of classes are going to be able to get some support abilities? Yeah, I think, remember, like, we even saw in the, like, because they didn't show off all the abilities. Like, there's still the one with, like, Dark Knight with the shield he cast on other players. That's a thing that wasn't shown off today. That is a support ability. Like, that is something you can give. I can give a player on my Dark Knight. Let's say if Shin's about to take a big hit, I can throw a shield over him, and that may have and it's supposed to give me something in return. So, like, if I need to refill MP, or I don't know what you're doing. Did I do something?
No, but I just thought we haven't touched the Paladin's ability, which was the flashiest ability there.
Oh, those guys.
And I just thought of something really awesome when we do start talking about it. So sorry,
right.
continue, and then we can go there after.
So, like, that is something that also changes how rating is going to handle, because now you have the ability that, for a tank, right? So I'm not only paying attention to tanking. I'm also, there may be a section where, like, as an off tank, if I see someone that's going to take a big hit, like, they're not going to make it out in time, I could throw a shield on them. So I'm not only off tanking, I'm also paying attention to the party. And maybe that's going to change how fights go.
As you should.
Yeah, yes. But I mean, it's going to be a lot of like interesting fight making, because you got to think like there may be fight mechanics that are built around this. You don't make these changes without affecting the fights. Like, that's why you can't, and I can kind of understand why you don't want to implement them beforehand, which we talked about. A lot of this is going to be like the pre-start. It's going to be a lot of people learning how to play their classes again, because these are major changes.
And they did mention too that they were going to monitor and readjust over the coming weeks. They're going to, even for PvP, they're going to do it, treat it as a preseason. They're going to test all of these changes and make a whole bunch of adjustments as people give their feedback in the first few weeks of Stormblood.
Yeah, it's gonna be big stuff. But talking about big stuff, Paladin. Woo!
That was the flashiest ability.
Sure did. They got some flashness. They can use their shield finally. Good for them.
Now they can be both a shield in name and in actuality.
Yeah. So Paladin's got a new nifty spell. Don't know what the name of it is yet, unless they said the name. I don't think they did. That essentially, I think they
mentioned it, but I don't remember.
I don't remember it either. But essentially what it does is it does a reverse cone, right? So the Paladin stands out in front and puts up his shield, and then creates a V cone behind him that the party stands behind him and takes a 15% damage decrease. So you take 50% less damage, and then the Paladin avoids 100% block. So
100% block, yeah.
So that's essentially they just become a wall. That's their maneuver is wall. Unless I'm getting it wrong, like I think it's more than that. Wait, what? Is it more? Does it do more?
I remember definitely reading that there's a 15% damage reduction for everyone behind and getting 100% block, but I don't remember hearing about anything else. But I was not watching so much at this part.
I could have missed it as well because I was on and off the phone at times.
One of the things that I do remember was that the Paladin has to stand absolutely still during this, and they cannot move. Otherwise, I believe the effect is canceled.
Yes, I know for sure.
The exciting part about that was that I control the entire raid by having everyone run behind the Paladin during an AoE and then rescuing them.
I don't know what they said on stream, but we'll see. You don't even know.
Paladin standing there protecting the whole raid, and then I rescue the Paladin and pull them away, and the whole raid just dies.
Listen,
sounds great.
Listen, I'm not saying that you do that, but I kind of want you to do that. Like,
I'll do it when Dawn is least expecting.
Just do that one time. Just pull it out and be like, ha! Just yank back. Well, that's all we really have on it. Now, can we dig more into these and give you a breakdown of each thing? Yes. That'd be terribly boring. Yes.
We don't have enough information to say anything useful or interesting.
No, and I don't feel like we should be dragging it out. Like a white mage would dragging it out. No? All right.
Hello, game is strong.
Ladies and gentlemen, Shin made that joke. I didn't.
Only quoting Twitter.
Listen, the whole time I was here, I didn't make that joke. All right, so serious talk. Woosah. So a big point in this community of both love and hate has been the talk of jump potions. Now, Shin and I come from me coming from playing many MMOs, Shin coming from the EQ side of things, and other, even Guild Wars too, Rift, a lot of games have some form of jump potion, jump thing, skip level, insta 50, whatever it is. They have it. It's in a lot of MMOs right now. A lot of people want instant gratification. They want to be able to play with their friends, and I can understand it. I am I one of those people that hate the idea of a jump potion? No. are they gonna get the same things that I get? No. I got the story out of it. I got the playtime, and it sucks. A lot of my friends that want to come play, they're like, all right, well, cool. Like, they don't. I have friends that absolutely do not care about the story. Just do not care about it. They care, like, the amount of care they have is so low that it doesn't matter. You tell them the story, they're like, I'm not interested. I just want to go do the things. And there are people out there that just want to go do the things. They don't care about they don't even want to know who the hell Estinian is. They don't think two shits. All they want to know is how, like, they just want to kill stuff. And that's fine. And what this is for them. And I know there's a lot of people that are like, well, the game's about the story. And hey, listen, you know what? I'm on your side. I love the story. I'm for it. I can't wait to see where we're going in Stormblood. I want to see what happens. But not everybody likes it. Some people skip cutscenes. You can't stop that from happening. So let's break down what these are and talk about it, because it is happening. So scenario and job level boost are separate potions. So let's go through the scenario.
There
are
15 separate potions.
Did you break it all down? Are there 15 literal separate potions?
They announced 15 different potions on the stream.
Oh, hold on. Don in chat. I don't like it. It upsets me. I put in work. All right. Well, there's 15 different potions, but it's all based on your jobs, right? Like the job you want to do.
No. So there are 2 potions for scenario jump potions, and there are 13 separate job jump potions.
Okay. Understood.
So that's how the split is. So there's 2 ones for the main scenario, and in the main scenario, it's only going to be for main scenario quests and select side quests. You can get a potion that will give you everything up to 2.55 or completing a Realm Reborn, or everything up to 3.56, including Heavensward. Both of these potions, the one up to 3.56 also includes everything up to 2.55. So if you want to jump and complete Heavensward, you only need to buy the 1 potion. If for some reason you want to only jump up into 2.55 and then do Heavensward yourself, you only buy the first potion.
So what this does is that if you want to experience Heavensward and don't really want to go through all of the party planning committee of a level 30 of Realm Reborn,
My wine.
Yeah. We need cheese from the gobbies. Go to Bravelocks and fetch us cheese. Only the finest stink gob cheese will only do here. So, am I okay with this? Yes. Shin, do you have any things against this? Like people skipping the story to just want to play the game?
I do have some issues with them skipping the story, not being able to go and see all that and experience all the different things, only because there's going to be a lot of things that they will miss out on as players. They're not going to get a lot of the jokes or the camaraderie or the meaning behind a lot of the stuff that we've spent time going through and learning. So in that aspect, yeah, I'm not looking forward to it from this. And you have to remember that this is only for the quest. This does not include level jumping or level boosting. You're only going to get the main story quest done. So you could buy this and have a level 1 character and buy this potion and be completely done in the Heavenward storyline, but you're level 1. You still can't start anything until you get all the way up to 60.
I like that he's slamming his desk a little bit. He's a little heated.
But in that sense, like, as a piece of a person, like, being able to go and skip all these quests, I don't think is terrible. It is a very long slog right now. If someone wanted to start going and play from scratch all the way up through and start playing in Stormblood, it's near impossible. And we see this with a lot of other games, that it's really hard to jump in to a new expansion without doing all the previous stuff. And most other games do this by you can start fresh from that expansion's content and it's separate from everywhere else. But unlike pretty much every other game, Final Fantasy XIV has a continuous storyline that goes from the first time that you load up the game through every single patch and expansion and up until today. So that's a little bit hard to convey, I think, to players that don't go through all of that sort of stuff. But I do think it's good to allow new players to come in and start playing with your friends. You don't have to go through all of that whole slog again. And we've seen that even with players that have joined our FC recently. They're slowly getting through all of this. And now they're at a point where, yeah, they're pretty much sold on it. They enjoy it. They're having fun with the storyline and everything. But they're also level 50 now. They still have the entirety of 2.0 or 2.1 to 2.55 and 3.0 to 3.56 before they even start to think about hitting Stormblood, which we're going to be going into in just over a month.
Yeah, so like Nafe and Set, which is Nafe, right? Am I getting that right this time now that I know how to say it? It's Nafe, N-A, like waif, but with an N. It's Nafe and Sev. They're levels 53 and 54. They haven't even gone to Heavensward yet. They're more likely to hit 60 before they even touch Heavensward content. Is that a good thing? Sure. That means they won't have a hiccup. They won't have a stopping point. They'll always continually just be able to go through the content. So if let's say if you wanted to experience the story, like, hey, if I tell somebody, hey, listen, I want you to at least experience the story, but I can understand leveling and those leveling gaps where like you get a quest but you can't do the next quest until you're the next level up. That's a pain. And I get that. Like, hey, we can run a dungeon and see, hopefully you hit the level. If not, then we got to run a guild test. Like, maybe some people are like, oh, I don't have that kind of time where I need to level a whole class. But if I can hit 60, I'll play through the story. Because going through the quest is straightforward. Like, you just run through the city, do all that, but you don't have to worry about levels. You can start pumping out through the story quests. You can get through the story, I think, fairly quickly if you out-level the quests. Especially if you're going to get gear and stuff, then you're just really just going to sit there and not have to worry about like gearing a character and making sure you get the right gear on and all that stuff.
Yeah, and like we said before, these potions they unlock your chocobo. You get your chocobo, you get a grand company based on whatever your starting city is. You get the main scenario quest completed. All the main scenario quest dungeons unlocked and flagged as complete, and as well as select side quest dungeons unlocked but not flagged complete, so you can still get the bonus. And of course, you get all the cutscenes in your unending journey in the in-room. So there's nothing there with your levels and stuff. And they did actually specifically bring it up on the podcast. If you wanted to just get super powerful and get a level 60 character and run through the whole main scenario quest, you could do that as well. That would be fine.
Yeah. Just can't name
a different potion.
Just can't name your chocobo.
Insta-chocobo.
Instaburb is another great name that you can use.
Instaburb's a great one.
Instaburb. Bob. I hope somebody just gets Bob. Here's Bob.
No, we'll probably have like Quest.
Questing. Questlove, maybe. You Roots fan out there? Why? Oh, can I rename my bird? I'm gonna go name it Questlove.
You can rename your verb.
Dear God, nobody steal that name. Dear God.
So yeah, Mystic brought up in chat. It's the old debate of time versus money. If you have the time, no money required. If you have no time but money. And I think to some degree that is true. But I also think that they've kind of implemented this well in that it's not really jumping a whole lot. Personally, I have more issues with the job level boost than I do with the scenario boost. But I don't think this is too terrible in what it gives you, particularly for the cost of it as well. It's for 2.55 completion, it's 18 USD, or for up to 3.56, it's 25 USD. So half the cost of an expansion.
So, I mean, all right. So, like, to me, I mean, like, you know me. Like, I love the story. It's one of the selling points for me to people. I'm like, you should play for this. This is a great story. Please go. But I can understand a lot of people that are just like, hey man, I want to come, whatever expansion you're on, I want to come do that. All right, well, your options are this. You can pay $100 out the door, get a character, get the story done up to my level, and then when it hits, you're good to go. You fly right in there. That's a lot, though. That's a big ask for anyone to like say, hey, listen, if you want to come play with me, So the better bet for most people, I would think, is just to go and get the character. Because most people are going to be like, if I could just fly through the story, the fast way for me to fly through that MSQ is going to be through having a max level character. Because you're not going to have to wait for queues or have to wait to, like, I got to go stop and level up and do a couple side quests and queue for a dungeon. I'm DPS, so my queue's longer now. So it takes me a while. Like, that I can understand. I know there's a lot of hate on the whole idea, but as the game gets older and you want people to come play it, you want your friends to come play it. Like, I have friends that have come try it. They're like, hey, this is fun. I just can't. I don't have the time. I don't have time to level, or I don't have the time to, like, or they honestly do not care about, they truly do not care about the story. Like, just don't. And that's fine. Like, they're the people that skip the cutscene. Like, it doesn't matter for them. And, like, I can't sell them on the story. Like, they're fans of MMOs. They like playing MMOs, and they're a fan for that type of game. But I'm never going to sell them on this great narrative that we have. And that's sad, really. And but what can you do? Is this option for them? Absolutely. Is it option for me as well? Like, yeah, if I wanted a level another job, I'd probably pay, like, here, you know what? Here's $25. Here's a class. I don't really want to spend the time leveling because it just bores me, but I want it maxed out. Here you go.
So to go on to the whole job level boost thing, there are going to be 13 separate potions, one for each job. They will boost you directly to 60, as well as giving you a full set of gear and a weapon. No word on what the item level will be for those, so we don't know yet. There's also going to be 25 USD for that, for one single job. It'll give you all of their job quests complete, all of the actions learned, and will give you access to Hall of the Novice. My favorite part about what they're doing for the initial launch, and I hope that this continues throughout the launch, is limiting the number of potions you can buy per account. So until patch point 4.1 at least, they're going to be limiting to one potion, one jump potion, one job specific level boost potion, per service account. And I think that's a great approach to it, to limit kind of people jumping. And I hope that they continue that throughout and limit it to only a certain number of potions per account per character can be applied.
Yeah, I mean, at least maybe per patch, or like, all right, well, at the end of an expansion, we're done with all the patch. Like, now we unlock it, but you can't right now. Just so everybody knows, you cannot jump Samurai Red Mage. That is not a thing you can do. Any ninja, any of the current jobs in the game that are available to you are the ones you're gonna be able to jump. Anything else is not. Any word on the whole scholar summoner thing? Like, I know it's like
I do believe you get 2 for 1, but I don't know. I would assume that you get them both. Yeah, I think you get both of them because you'd have to level Arcanist, which would be the class that you'd base it off of.
So
unless they get split because of the whole job thing going away, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, we probably need some more clarification. I'm guessing. Oh, yeah, there are 13 items. That was true. So you pick Scholar or Summoner. So I don't know how that will play into the whole thing. It'll probably unlock Arcanist to 30, or it'll probably unlock Arcanist to 60, but you'll only get the one set of armor, abilities, actions for the one job class.
All right, so you're gonna get.
So you still have to unlock. If you unlock Summoner and did the boost on Summoner, you'd still have to go back and do the quest for Scholar to unlock it and each of its abilities.
That's not too terrible, though.
That is a pretty great deal still, yes.
Not too terrible. I'm just going to say. Listen, if I were you and you were me, I'd use my money to do that one.
Can I use your money too?
No. I can't. Listen, we're poor. All of our money goes to this. Not really. We don't have a Patreon. It goes to all your retainers. Yeah, it's true. It does go to all my retainers. We don't have a Patreon, but guaranteed it would go back into the show. Real quick in chat, I'm gonna butcher your name, but Arcila, if I said that right, let me know. If I said it wrong, just tell me how I should say it. Problem is, story doesn't always sell people initially. Every 2.0 quest doesn't have an amazing 2.55 before the fall cutscene with it. Completely agree. and that changes based on a lot of things. Like when I saw 2.55, that's when I'm like, you should go see this Game of Thrones ending. But the problem is, it takes you 60 hours to get to that Game of Thrones ending. Also, Mystic in chat. Yeah, because you also take into contend with timing right now. There's plenty of people who, and he's absolutely right with this. There are plenty of people who can help, who are just starting up. When Stormblood hits, all these people are helping, and new guys are leveling their own stuff. So the new guys have harder time progressing. That's absolutely true. There's a lot of new people joining the game right now. There's a lot of people coming back that are behind because they're like, oh, cool, I'm getting Red Mage, and that's the class I wanted from Final Fantasy XI. That is happening. Or, hey, I wanted Samurai, and that's happening. They're not at the point yet where they can just go out and they want to complete the story and just grab their class and go. So that being said, they're going to be slightly screwed. So it's a lot to consider. Like I said, shouldn't I come from games where this has happened before? So it's not, especially in those games, not so much of a worry. But at any point, and Shin may agree with this, at any point, if you jump, that's your prerogative. If you skip the story, that's your prerogative. It's your money and you're putting it into the game. Honestly, there's nothing I can say. There's nobody in this community that can tell you different. There's no reason for anybody in this community to be mad at you, because you're spending the money how you see fit to play the game, how you want to play it. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there that are like, oh, I spend my $15. Like, listen, there's a difference between playing your class right and paying to skip to go play your class, right? Because there's plenty of WoW raiders who want to come raid in Final Fantasy XIV, and I'll tell you what, they're not going to give two shits about the story or leveling. But they do want to raid because they hear a lot about the raiding scene in this game, and guess what they're going to do? They're going to shell out $100 just to go be at top tier to go to raiding. They're going to do it. Just saying, coming from a WoW background, and people like I see in the forums on Reddit and stuff, people are like, "Hey, I'm coming from WoW. What should I do? And how's the level as fastest way for me to level?" Because that's how it is in WoW. Like, a lot of people don't care about story. They don't care. They want to know the fastest possible route to level a character so they can get to the end game. And you're gonna give them that option, and they're gonna give that money. So. Does that mean more people are willing to try the game? Sure. Am I going to be mad at you? No. Do what you please. Just learn how to play your class. That's all I ask. It's all going to be new anyway.
I did have one issue, and I posted on Twitter, and we had a little bit of a conversation earlier about it. But the one thing I'm kind of worried about with this, when they do open it up to more than one per service account, will be people who decide that they want to boost all three roles, tank, DPS, and healer, 260, and get access to the mentor roulette, or to the mentor channels and all of that. And I know you still need 300 player comms, but that's really easy to get. You still need 1,000 dungeons complete. That's a little bit harder to get, but still okay. But I know for myself, like, I would not feel comfortable giving people advice on how to tank. I have my 1,000 dungeons. I have my 300 comms, more than double or tripled. I have a healer and a DPS, both at 60. I don't know how to play a tank well, and I know that I don't know how to play a tank well and wouldn't want to give advice. But I could see people jumping in and trying to give advice, or giving really poor advice if they haven't had that experience. And today, like, you might really suck at a tank class. Like, if I get a tank to 60, I'll still suck at a tank, but I've had the experience of playing it from 1 to 60, which at least gives me some inkling of how it plays in this game, whether or not I've actually know how to play it properly. But for someone who just pays for it and is instantly boosted to that level, they'd have zero to play time, zero experience. They know nothing about it. And honestly, from what I know of playing a tank so far, it's pretty different from a lot of other games. You have to pay attention.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason why they want you looking less at your bars and more at what the boss is doing, because the game, they even said in the live, like, they are working more on visual cues, because I guarantee they're going to up the visual cue game on the bosses. I can level a summoner to 60 and become a mentor without ever healing. That's also true. He's right. Scarlett's right in chat. It's something to work around. Like, listen, if there's something that needs an overhaul come Stormblood, it's the mentor system. I don't think Shin and I think it's perfect either. Being able to get in there is, I think it was much like Diadem or anything else, humble beginnings it has. Where it is now is not perfect, because I think there's a lot of people in there that are shouldn't be mentors. There's people in there that are trying to actually be mentors, and I think are doing a worthy cause. I think there just needs to be something in game that allows you to test yourself to be a mentor, that allows you to apply to be a mentor, that gets you into the mentor program, not something that's based on, I leveled these 3 classes and I got enough commendations and run enough dungeons that boom, I'm now a mentor. That's not a thing, because there's a lot of people in there that give 2 shits about the people and just want to get whatever you get out of mentor roulettes. So.
And huge kudos to those who actually go in and help the new players, who actually spend that time doing it, who run the mentor roulette, not just for the gear and stuff, but also to help new people, or actually help new people in there. Whether or not you just wanted the crown, or you want the bonus from the mentor roulette, or you're just doing it for dailies, or whatever reason, if you're still helping people, that's great.
Yeah.
There have been a lot of mentors. Like, even I've seen mentors in what I'm assuming is mentor roulette, because they come into our extreme runs and they aren't helpful. They don't say anything. They leave early. But when I get one of those mentors that pops in and is very enthusiastic and thinks that we can do it, we do great. I remember jumping into a run with Odin, and we had 2 or 3 people leave until we had one mentor pop in on the roulette, and they came in, and basically we all learned how to do this. We never cleared it, but we got significantly closer. We had some DPS problems at the time, so we couldn't quite clear the checks. But the experience between the 2 is staggering.
It is, and you have to be. It's amazing to see when a mentor comes into a raid or a dungeon, and Shin or myself are the ones typing out strategies, and the person wearing the crown is not at all, like, not helping, not saying anything. And if they add their 2 cents, it's like, I wish you guys could do better, or it's not helpful in any sort of way. It's pretty sad to see the 2 people that want a mentor crown the most or don't have it help the most, and the people that have crowns just had more time to play the game than Shen and I. That's all it is. I hate to say it. As a Arcelian chat, as a decent mentor that is also an asshole, one guild test should not be the same as an EX Primal, etc. Yes, I agree that, but if you're in an EX fight and so you see someone that's new, or you see someone that may be messed up, there's a difference between just leaving, like just up and leaving, and saying, hey, just in case, this is a little bit different, here's the differences, and you can pop that out real quick, because some people are always going to be afraid and say, I'm the new guy, because of anxiety, of anything. So half the time, Shin and I will just, if we see someone, like, if it pops up the bonus in anything, we just start typing out the strat. If every 5 minutes spent gives me 1 credit to my mentorness, I would be most gung-ho person all day. I would be the most gung-ho person all day. Figure out something. Listen, there's got to be a better system. I just don't know what it is yet. I could fix FCs. I can't fix mentorship. I haven't dug into that one yet. Give me time. Tear that down and bring it back up. So I don't know. I think could we talk more about jump potions? Sure. I mean, there's nothing I can say that'll change it. It's a thing. It's gonna be in this game. Should you be mad? No. Should you yell and kick and scream and stop playing the game? No. Does it affect you in any way? No. Doesn't hurt you. Doesn't hurt your game or the people you play with. If anything, this is going to be a selling point for some of the friends that play another MMO that don't want to level through a game, and then you may get them to come play. It may cost them a little more, but they may do it, and then they can play the game, and then you can convert them. And then maybe at that point they're like, dang, this is fun, and they'll go back and play the story. That can happen. They may be nutcases, but that can happen. Shin, you got anything for all this. I know next week we're gonna do, next week we'll do PvP.
I got nothing more to add at this point. There was a lot of information. A lot of it was really interesting, but really, we have 3.5 weeks to figure out what's going on, and then it's go time.
Right about that. Well, it's getting real scary. Getting real close to that drop everything and let's go see story. Oh man. All right. Well, real quick, there was a tragic incident over in Manchester in UK a few hours before Shin and I went live. I don't know if Shin got to see the news. I know he was driving. And he was out. Did you see the news?
I saw vague references to it. I have a general idea.
Yeah. So there were 2 explosions in the Manchester arena after the Ariana Grande concert. 19 people lost their lives. If you or anyone you know, family, friend, were in that, our hearts from here from Maelstrom Radio go out to you. It's one, I often say that MMOs are this great aspect for social, and sometimes you can't deal with feelings on an outside way. Being a person that grew up on video games, so if you need to reach out to anybody and you can't do it in your IRL life, and you trust the people that you play in game, reach out to them and talk. If you were affected by this in any way, I'm sure they'll be there to listen and help in any sort of way. By all means, you can always reach out to Shinder and I, show at maelstromradio.com if you just need someone to talk to. And so we joke a lot on the show. I try not to always end the show like on a sad note, but it is tragic what happened. And sorry to see it happen, and it sucks, but you can find us every Monday, usually here at twitch.tv/Maelstrom Radio. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's 5 Pacific. Today was very special. Ship was out of town. And next week may be special as well. We may be doing a Sunday show. We'll tweet that out as soon as we get. Yeah, stay tuned. The recorded show goes up on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. You can find us at maelstromradio.com. So if you do miss a show here, our raw feed is there. You can grab it, stick it in any pod app that you use that are not essentially those 3 major ones. You can email us at show@maelstromradio.com. You can find us on Twitter at maelstrom _radio. I don't know where hashtag was coming in at. Hashtag, I guess, Toad Rogue. Facebook.com/Maelstrom Radio. Thank you to everybody that's following, keeps hitting us up on Facebook. I'm gonna start posting our shows. Once we have them posted up on our website, I'll post a link to the website on there as well, so you guys can check it out. And then of course here at twitch.tv/Maelstrom Radio. If you guys have any questions, just send them emails, and we want to know what your thoughts are. Also, we have we have our Discord. We didn't say this on our last show, and I apologize. Our Discord channel, did we? Maybe we did. Our Discord's open. We made it public. So sometimes
it's not on our website yet, but it is on our Twitter handle.
It is on our Twitter handle, and so if you want to come talk to us about the game, the changes, jump potions, whatever, you are welcome to come and join us on our public. I'm not listening to the guy in chat. I know it's open because we tested it. You're welcome to come join us, and you can chat and hang out with us and say things and words, and we'll see it. And that's all I got. Yeah. For Shinter, I should probably be playing outro music and stuff.
Your volume just disappeared on me. Yeah. So seriously? You're back.
This is all right. Well, thanks. At least it let me do the show. Thanks, I appreciate it. Audio. Or mute Shin. I'm gonna get us out of here before I. Thank you all for coming. It's been a weird night. I want to thank everybody that came out to hang out with us tonight. It was a later show than normal. We had a whopping a lot of people hanging out in chat tonight. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us and being part of the discussion here on Maelstrom Radio. Please come back next time for our PvP discussion. If you were into PvP, we want to know. But until Sea Swallows all, keep listening.
Maelstrom Radio is a production of MaelstromRadio.com, Blackfire Media Productions. Final Fantasy XIV and Eorzea are trademarks of Square Enix. Opening theme provided by Benjamin Anthony James. You can find more of their music over at SoundCloud.com/Ben773. Our outro is provided by Sodo. You can find more of their music over at SoundCloud.com/Sodo. Views and opinions expressed on this episode are those of Maelstrom Radio and their hosts, and do not reflect the views and opinions of Square Enix. And until sea swallows all, keep listening.